So, good morning, all. My name is Pallavi Katre, and today I'll be talking about our recently published research work, which is Elasto-viscous regime in coalescence of viscoelastic droplet. So, as this title suggests, this is the coalescence or merging process of viscoelastic fluid droplets. So, when a droplet merging of droplets is basically an energy minimization process where two or more droplets combine to form a thermodynamically stable droplet. So this work explore how elasticity affects or deviates the classical Newtonian behavior. Now, why to study this coalescence process? So knowingly or unknowingly, we observe this phenomena in various natural, industrial, and biological processes, like formation of raindrop. So here, the formation of raindrop, as we know, it is basis to maintain our Earth hydrological cycle. So here, multiple tiny droplets combine to form bigger droplet, and bigger droplet falls on Earth's surface due to gravity. In case of superhydrophobic leaves, tiny droplets combine, it takes dust and dirt along with it, and the bigger droplet rolls over the surface. So that's why we call it as self-cleaning leaves. In the separation of oil-water emulsion, oil droplets combine to get separated from this emulsion. In biological system, multiple cells combine, basically coalesce to form tumors. So the coalescence of Newtonian fluid is studied well, but what in case of non-Newtonian fluids, like polymeric solutions, biological fluids, they deviates from classical Newtonian behavior that doesn't follow Newtonian behavior. So where and why they deviates from classical Newtonian behavior? So in this study, we consider viscoelastic fluid of polyethylene oxide, PEO, having molecular weight of 4 million gram per mole. And we consider, we have taken different concentrations of this PEO. The concentration is represented in terms of C by C star. Here C is the concentration of polymer and C star is its critical overlap concentration. And for the reference or the comparison, we also consider our Newtonian fluids of having different viscosities like DI water, glycerol, and honey. So the coalescence dynamics can be studied in multiple configurations like sessile pendant, sessile, and pendant. So in this study, we focused on pendant configuration and we extracted 3 parameters from the experiment. The first is initial droplet radius R0 and 2 principal radius of curvatures. So radial curvature and axial curvature. So radial curvature is 1 by R. Here R is the minimum neck radius, also called as minimum bridge radius, and RK is the axial radius of curvature. Here we calculated this by fitting a circle at the location of minimum bridge radius. So the coalescence dynamics is driven by the capillary force. When the fluid is Newtonian, the inertia force and viscous force opposes these forces. But what if elastic force is present? So where this elastic force is contributing in the battle of these forces? Okay, so that we have explored it. I'm discussing that now. So usually this coalescence dynamics is represented or expressed in terms of power law. R scales as T to the power B. So here B is power law exponent. So depending on this value of B, we can differentiate this regime into this coalescence process into multiple regimes. Like if B is 1, it is viscous regime. If B equals to 0.5, it is inertial regime. And if B is less than 0.5, we call it a sub-Newtonian regime. Okay. So going to the experimental part, these are the videos from our experiments. T is the time, temporal evolution of time. So these are the videos from our experiments. The first is for the DI water and second is for polyethylene oxide having C by C star of 42. So this is speed up by 7x and 50x. So from this speed up, we can say, like we can see how fast is the coalescence process of water as compared to the PEO, polymer. So coalescence is basically a millisecond phenomena. For water, it takes around 5 milliseconds, whereas for PEO, it takes around 30 milliseconds. One more observation can be made from here. For DI water, we observe much flatter curvature here, whereas in case of polymer droplets, we observe sharp curvature. So these are the snapshots taken from these different videos. So we have presented these snapshot at fixed neck radius because, as we know, for all these fluids, the time scale for coalescence is different. So for the better comparison, it's good to present at fixed. For better comparison, we present this at fixed neck radius. Okay. So the first column is for DI water. So as we have seen, the DI water shows much flatter curvature. But if we go for highly viscous fluids like glycerol and honey, we observe much sharper curvature. And this curvature becomes sharp as in the later phase as we go further. So here we observe the effect of viscosity on the coalescence process. If we talk about the polymer droplets, the minimum concentration we consider here is 14 and the maximum is 56. So the minimum concentration C by C star equal to 14 shows almost similar behavior to DI water, whereas as we increase the polymer concentration, we observe sharper curvature, and this curvature remains sharper for the majority of the time. So this is because of the highly viscous fluid. I mean, as we increase the polymer concentration, its viscosity increases. Also, the presence of elastic stresses due to a stretching of polymer chains. This figure B, D, and F present the same thing, flat and sharp curvature of water and polymer droplet. So these contour plots are rescaled using initial droplet radius R0 and Y0, which is the initial height of this bridge at t equals to 0. So we observe that DI water follows Newtonian behavior, like all graphs collapse into a single master curve. Whereas for the polymer concentration from C by C star of 14 and 56, as we increase the polymer concentration, we observe more and more deviation from this Newtonian scaling because of the growing effect of elastic stresses. So from this droplet shapes, we extracted its neck radius, and here the neck radius is non-dimensionalized by initial droplet radius, and time is non-dimensionalized by its particular relaxation time of that particular fluid. So for the lower concentration of C by C star of 14 to 28, we observed single regime, and we can fit a single power law and get single value of power law exponent B. But as we increase the concentration from 32 and above, so we observe deviation in these curves, and it's not correct to fit a single power law. So we fit two power law and get two values of power law exponent. And we differentiate this into two different regimes. So the orange shaded regime and the green shaded regime. The transition from orange to green shaded regime occurs at T by lambda equals to around 0.05. So this plot presents the value of B for all these fluids. So from this, we can say that as we increase the polymer concentration, means C by C star, there is reduction in the B value. Okay. So ideally, if we are increasing the concentration of polymer, it also increases the viscosity. And we have seen for viscous scaling, B should be equals to 1. So the increasing viscosity should increase the B value towards 1, but it is happening just opposite, increasing the polymer concentration, reducing the B value towards 0.2. So here is the effect of elasticity comes. And to identify these different regions, so we calculated Weisenberg number, which represents the ratio of elastic force to viscous force. So the below 0.05, T by lambda equal to 0.05, the Weisenberg number ranges from 10 to 1000. That means elastic force dominate over the viscous force. We name this regime as elasticity dominated regime. And the second regime, Weisenberg number is of the order of 1, means both forces are equal. So we call this regime as elasto-viscous regime. Now this was about the all lab made fluid. So to see if we can observe such behavior in our daily used products which contains polymer, we performed experiment with the shampoo. Okay. So we consider the opaque and clear version of same brand, and we observe similar dynamics, regime 1 and regime 2, and the power law exponent are also comparable to the high C by C star polymer concentration, high C by C star polymer solutions. Because this shampoo contains high concentration of surfactant, polymers, and there is formation of worm-like micellar structure at high concentration of surfactants. So not all shampoo, but few of the variants show similar behavior to high C by C star concentration. So key takeaways are there is effect of elasticity on droplet coalescence and it deviates from classical Newtonian behavior. Polymer breaks its self-similarity due to presence of elastic stresses, and the combined effect of elastic and viscous forces introduces two distinct regimes. And the power law exponent decreases as we increase the polymer concentration. Also, few of the sample formulation exhibit this two distinct regime behavior. So this work has been recently published in PNS. For more detail, please refer to this paper. I would like to acknowledge my advisor, Professor Alok Kumar, and all the contributors to this study, and ANRF and DST for the funding. Thank you so much.
We have time for only one quick question.
So in the case of the pendant drops, how did you initiate the coalescence? You brought them together?
Yes, it is based on the approach method. We call it as approach method. One droplet will be hanging and we bring a second droplet with minimum approach velocity of 10 to the power minus 5 meter per second slowly so that they will touch and coalesce.
Okay. So I'm sure if that velocity changes, then probably your B changes too, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Actually, B is not representation of the velocity, speed. The speed also depends on the prefactor because the power law R equals to A T to the power B. Okay, so to some extent B represents speed, but speed in turn also depends on its prefactor A. So we can't say like speed represents the B or B represents speed.
Yeah. Let's thank the speaker again.